Hello and welcome to the Talkin Bits podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and with me is Nathaniel Boer, Banana Head.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't Tell Tri-Cities rep.
That's me. That's
Yes.
me. Long time co-host, long time listener, first time guest.
Yeah.
Very excited to sit in. Very excited to be here. No, we're recording this a week later because we had some big plans for the intro, and here we are. We're doing this.
Yep.
If this is in fact the one we wound up using,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought this was for the episode we were about to record.
Oh. We're all turned around, folks. This is the intro for a very special episode. Episode 52.
Episode 52. Okay, yeah, we're doing it. All right,
we're doing it.
So
we're
very
really
fun. We watched a bunch of clips that were sent in by some of our wonderful guests, and just all around had a good episode. Honestly.
Yeah. And real quick too, I think this actually makes the most sense. We had a couple of guests who submitted their congratulations or their videos late.
Yeah.
A little after the deadline, but we're recording this now, so I'll just go ahead and read these real quick.
Knock it out.
Yeah, we've got two.
I don't think either one of us. I have not heard these yet. I don't think.
I've not either.
Okay.
No, these are two, and they're very quick. They're up top. They're just emails. There's videos linked inside the actual episode that you'll get to watch along with us and laugh. But a couple quick emails. We got one from our friend Corey Day. All the way.
Shout out, Corey.
Yeah, all the way from Charlotte. We love Corey. He sent in a quick email. He just said, hey, congrats on the year of podcasting. It's been awesome to listen along on the ride. Talkin Bits has introduced me to new comics, shown me different perspectives and appreciation for this art of stand-up that I love. And I couldn't be more honored to have shared my little stories, insight, and my journey along the way. Looking forward to another year of coming back on the show very soon. He signed it, Your Daddy, Corey Day. P.S. Michael does all right, too.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So that was very sincere.
Appreciate it, Corey.
That was good. No, we love Corey.
No, that was good. I like the episodes he's on, you know.
Yes.
He did just make that big move to Charlotte. He was from Asheville. I think he still runs that show.
He does.
That he set up in Asheville, which you're on, or we're
Soon.
just on. It's coming up.
Soon.
Yeah.
Couple of weeks.
But yeah, so
August 15th.
thank you, Corey, and thank you so much for being on the show. We really enjoyed having you.
Yes, he's been on twice, so if you have not listened to his episodes, check those out. And then the other one that I'm super excited about is
You're wearing the Toy Story shirt.
Gerard. Yeah,
You're wearing the Toy Story shirt.
Ironically, I'm wearing a Toy Story shirt. No, it does not have Squeaky on it, but he
it's the hardest I've ever fucking laughed in my life, Gerard.
Yeah, Gerard Donnell, our old buddy. He lives all the way up in Wisconsin now. He's moved up to Madison, Wisconsin, and he's still doing stand-up up there. I just talked to him the other day. But he sent in a quick email as well. He said, hey, guys, just wanted to reach out and send congratulations to both of y'all on the latest episode. I still keep up with the episodes, but only when I think my name might be dropped. Does that make me a bad person? Question mark.
Nope.
A question to be answered on episode 76. That's what he said. Apparently he's returning. Truthfully, it's badass that y'all have pushed through with the podcast. Comedy's the best thing I've ever experienced. In parentheses, he put, I hope to have sex one day to see if it's a close second. I appreciate y'all for embracing me in the comedy community out in your area. Comedy has saved my life in more ways than most people know. Keep making episodes and I'll keep listening. Your friend from Wisconsin, Gerard Wheezy Donnell.
Hell yeah, Gerard.
We love Gerard.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gerard.
If he's ever, Gerard, if you're ever back in town, like even close, you tell us.
We're going to fly him in. We're going to fly him in just for the show.
Whenever we start making money on the podcast, the first investment will be flying Gerard.
That's true.
Gerard, I'm pretty sure it was this episode or it may have been last week's episode, but I definitely spaced on your name at one point in either this episode or the last episode. So.
And that's going to age gracefully.
Sorry about that. Up top, sorry about that.
No, good old Wheezy, our friend the penguin from Toy Story. Again, all fun, all jokes, all inside from Gerard's episode. So go listen to that.
Maybe my favorite, one of my favorite episodes. Definitely the hardest I've laughed on an episode was. Yeah,
so much fun, and there's a couple clips from that one too. Anyways, so that's our two late submission emails that we got. We had about 30 previous guests not respond and essentially just tell us to go fuck ourselves. So
because they're comedians and comedians are famously the worst. We love you, but we suck.
No, I would imagine that for the next 4 months, I will get episode 52 emails rolling in occasionally from people who are a little behind, and we'll just read them as they come. So anyways, thank you to those two. Thank you to everyone who submitted the videos and the emails in this episode. This one's a lot of fun. So anyways, episode 52.
We love it.
Yep.
Or we love you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Enjoy. And we're back here in the same old Talkin' Bits studio.
That's right. No changes at all.
No changes at all. Happy 22nd birthday.
Just the usual.
Or 52nd birthday
Yeah.
or 25th birthday to Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Banana Head.
I'd like to give a special shout out to Ingles Grocery Store
Yep.
for making me wait 30 minutes only to give me two numbers that look identical to each
They're
other.
very funny.
This should
It
be
is supposed to be 52. Just, yeah, you're walking in. I'm like, my neighbors are going to think I'm 25 years old.
Yeah.
And we're throwing a party for me right now, which, I'll take the
It's
compliment.
an early morning birthday.
It is
yeah.
an early morning birthday.
No, this is it, man. This is
We did
52. This is 1 year. We're here.
One
we
year.
made it.
We
We're
did it.
somehow still allowed to do this. I feel like at any moment somebody's going to knock on your basement door and tell us to stop.
I'm surprised neither one of us have been full on canceled yet.
It's coming. Yeah.
We joked about trying to get the other one to say the N-word a lot in the early days.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I wasn't joking.
I think we did it too much.
I wasn't joking.
You know?
Yeah, I just don't agree with you that you should say it amongst the privacy of your home. But anyways, with this episode, this is
if you ever look at if you ever do a search on Nathaniel's Twitter, it's just
yeah.
a lot of a 6-letter word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway,
Success. Is that 6 letters? I don't know. So this is episode 52. We're here. We got the balloons or the bubbles, as OJ was just calling them.
Olivia was very intrigued with the happy birthday balloon. And
She sure
if you're
was.
listening to this, and if you're not watching, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you're audio only, you probably think we're schizophrenic, right?
Yeah, if you're watching only, but there's a purple happy birthday bubble,
There sure
as my
is.
daughter liked to call it.
That's
So,
right. A happy birthday bubble.
Yeah.
It's, no, this is it. This is 1 year. We're here. We did it. We've had, I think, 40-something guests along
I'd
the
say
way.
that's about right. We've had a couple repeats along the way. I'd say, yeah,
Probably
roughly
about 42, 45 guests, something like that.
Yeah.
All of which were special, I think. Unique for sure. Some
Yeah.
of which will never be back. Really
Yeah.
just one, I think. Maybe two.
I think
They know who they are. But
they're not listening.
yeah.
The one's not listening.
several
for
that will
sure.
be back soon. One in particular that has a whole Chronicles series running.
Oh,
so.
by the way, I just want to address something. I was thinking about this last night.
Mhm.
So the Peyton episode comes out before this one now, which is very funny because of how much on the Peyton episode we talked about how it comes out after this
Yeah,
episode.
it'll age well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were uploading the episodes, and I texted Nathaniel, and I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure Peyton's episode 51, not
Mhm.
53, because
Sure
how
is.
we were scheduling it. And he's like, oh, shit, you're right. And I was
Yeah.
like, and there's 10 minutes of that episode where we talk about the 1 year anniversary show.
That's fine. That just means that people will hear it and be like, there's already the 1 year, and they'll go look for it.
They'll be very confused.
Yeah. Well, just listen to a different episode, and then now that this is out, you're here. You
I
found
could after we upload this one, just re-upload, reorder them all, just make it real
it. No,
complicated.
this is it. This is the 1 year. We're doing it.
Did it.
We've been doing it for a year, which is crazy. I think before we got some fun stuff planned
Yeah.
for the episode. We're gonna get into some segments and some different funny shit. Before we do that, though, I just want to say truly, and this is a comedic show, and obviously we fuck with each other all the time. There is no talking bits without Michael Rose. I want to put that out there. I mean, there literally he fucking bugged me for 6 months to do this, and we did it.
Yeah.
And then we started doing it, and we loved it, and we keep doing it. And all the time, people are like, "You got to ditch that Michael Rose guy." And I just, I just want to say that despite everyone I know telling me to kick him off this podcast,
I get it, man.
This is his podcast.
It is not my
And so-
podcast. It is.
No,
Thank
Michael
you.
has allowed us to use his home, use his space, use his time, take away time from his infant child, which some would say is selfish. But he wants to do it. He wants to not see his family and do this instead.
Yeah,
and that's
that's,
special.
I told Kayla, this is kind of relevant. So Olivia, our daughter, OJ, whenever one of us is not with her and she's in a public space, she'll just scream the other one's name. So Kayla, I had to do some work this morning. Kayla takes her to the grocery store and just goes, Dad, Dad. And Olivia's the whole time
Yeah.
saying that. And I was like, you should just, when people look and are like, oh, that's sweet, you should be like, yeah, he just left us.
Yeah.
Just really make him uncomfortable. But no, I
It would
really
work.
appreciate you saying that. No, and it's not my podcast. It is our
It's ours.
podcast.
That's
You do a lot.
Well, it's going to stay that way. I mean, I think we've done, as with any cooperative thing, that especially artistic or artsy type people do, which I would consider us that with stand-up. it's collaborative, and we've figured out we've fixed some potholes along the way and figured out the grooves. But truly, I think in terms of my comedic career, and I use that word very loosely, career, there's probably nothing I'm more proud of than the catalog that we've created. I mean, 52 episodes is 52,
a lot. I mean, dude, there's
probably 60 hours.
2-3 days. Yeah, 60 hours. You listen to our podcast from start to finish.
It's just us being very stupid most of the time.
I like to re-listen to some old episodes.
I do too.
And then I cringe a lot.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. None of them will age well. But
they've all aged poorly. Even last week's episode probably already.
A week ago is bad.
Probably already aged very badly.
No, the greatest part, truly for me, is exactly what we set out to do. I mean, when Michael and I talked about it, I said I want this show to not only be a space for us to be ourselves, but a reflection of the guest each time.
Yep.
And it is. I mean, if you listen to John Pruitt's episode versus Peyton Williams, who was just in here, or, different, you name it, JoJo, Lance, all the amazing guests, Travis, that we've had, all the way back to Dustin, our very first guest, each episode is different, and that's because each guest is different, and they're really the show.
They are.
They really are.
And it's funny you brought up Michael Mullen's episode, because whenever I captioned his most recent episode, I looked back at the original caption and I said something about it going off the rails, and then when I was captioning this one, I was like, "Oh, it went off the rails again." I was like, maybe that's just
Michael.
That's just Michael Mullen.
Maybe he's just off the rails.
It's fine, but no, it has been a really fun year. I'm going to even loosely call my comedic career a career, but it has been a very fun year. I mean, I think we both are significantly better stand-up comedians since when we started this to now. I think we're both better recording. I think we have a pretty good flow. We've hit some hiccups, like as he said, and along the way on the podcast side of stuff. But
we've had
we have video now. We have all the socials now.
All the lives also. I wanted to kind of touch on those. I mean, a quick shout out to Sean Carter and Sarah and Blue Ridge Comedy Club, because they just basically said, come in and do this and do it on our stage. And that's so special because obviously that stage in particular, it's moved now. But that room is so important to you and I. I mean, it's such a huge part of who we are. And so for them to, to think that you pestering me into this led us to doing live episodes with Blake Wexler on the stage at Blue. I mean, it's really cool. We've done a lot in a year. And sometimes I think you and I both get real focused on what can we achieve? What can we do? How can we keep growing? I personally kind of forget to turn around and look at what we've already done.
That is true.
Yeah.
I will say,
and that's in all areas of my life, honestly.
One thing with this podcast in particular, and we've joked about it a lot on the show about how I'm not on stage as much anymore. It's just not as hard. It's a lot harder for me to get on stage with having a toddler and all this stuff. But like one thing that through it all, I'm not missing is the podcast. Yeah, because it's just how important this is.
Yeah, we've stayed pretty consistent. I mean, it's.
I think in the year, in the 1 year mark, we missed one episode, one Friday release, one time, and that was. Like,
not our fault.
Everything that could have happened happened to make us miss that episode. So, it's been a great run.
And we hope that if you're listening, especially if by chance this is your first episode and you're just checking us out, maybe a clip from this blew up or something and you're checking us out. Yeah. We appreciate you being here. If you're
there's a clip in here, don't worry.
If you're Joe Bridges and you've listened to every episode, thank you, Joe. We appreciate you. We appreciate, everybody who listens to us talk. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I want to say that one final time on record. We're just here to have fun and try to entertain and maybe learn something about the guests. And I think I'll also say Dustin always comes to mind when we have this conversation, but really all of our guests, I can't thank enough for teaching us something too. Almost every episode, I feel like I've taken something away, whether it's about stand-up or just about life. Like JoJo and Lance come to mind too. Recently, they got pretty serious at points about their personal lives and how that's molded into stand-up. And I mean, for them to come into this room and share something like that I think it's a special thing.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. I think initially whenever we started this podcast, while I love how deep we get at times, I thought we were just going to be hour in, out
Not
the
at
door.
All.
But no, it gets serious sometimes. So we do have a couple of fun things planned for the 1 year 1 year special.
That's enough of the sincerity. I'm getting sick.
Yeah. I was going to say, I did want to say before we move on, thank you seriously to everyone who's been on the show. It does mean the world.
Yeah, almost
that
all
you've
of you
given
are
us, an hour on whatever day we recorded with you, sometimes multiples.
Mm-hmm.
We do appreciate that. And a lot of you, it's hard to accommodate the time we record for some people. And
It is.
A lot of people have accommodated it.
Yep. Some people drive too. I mean, Greg.
Yeah.
I think Greg probably holds the record for the drive.
Greg or Joe? I'm not sure who's further. Greg or Joe?
It's Greg. It's Greg for sure.
Yeah. So.
Knoxville too. I mean, shout out to
we've had Justin, Brandy,
and also
Tyler when he lived in Knoxville.
Forgot to tell. Tyler Gallant. How could I forget? I forgot to tell Michael this. We've got a very special Gerard. We've got a very special guest coming from Knoxville very soon. Also, that reached out to me and wants to be on, and probably my most anticipated get from Knoxville. It's going to be. I'll tell you later.
I know who it is. I think.
Yeah, probably so.
KM. That's
yes,
initials. Really?
Sure is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep. Wants to come on. So that's going to be
That'd
great.
be fun.
That'll be great. It's going to be great. So, 52 is a milestone, but we're just getting started. We really are. It's going to be great. We're going to have more guests. I think it's looking like we'll probably do some more solo episodes mixed in, too. We've kind of ran through our
I think we
roster.
have fun, too. And I will say, this is crazy. It feels like our audience likes
I think every other.
a couple solo episodes.
I think every other or something like that, every 2, every 3. We'll figure it out.
Because we catch up and we just riff, and we're not like, it's not interview, it's just riff.
Yeah.
And we're funny.
Well, one of us.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, we got things planned. What do you want to go first?
I'll start with my notebook because I just said that we're funny.
Yeah,
and
let's start. Let's start here. Michael has a very intimidating notebook.
This is a very. I'm going to show the camera and just describe it. It's an old like pocket-sized 5-star notebook.
Is it from Five Below? Because that's kind of the vibe it has.
No, you don't know what 5-star
is? It's like a
is?
stocking stuffer. Yeah.
Like the notebook brand?
I know. I'm just saying it's.
Dude, this notebook
actually,
is...
it's Michael's size.
That was a good one.
He thought that was a full-size notebook.
This notebook, I think I bought when I was in college. So right here is a couple pages that I obviously were taking notes in a communication studies class.
Okay, and I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah, I just want to paint the scene.
Special.
This page just says delete slide 7.
Okay.
That's all it says.
Sure. It literally, for the audience, I can see the page. It literally
slide
just
7. That's all it says. I wonder if I did
a diligent note taker.
Yeah. Here is how you solve a 4x4 Rubik's
What
Cube.
is this podcast?
But what we're doing this for, and I just have to find it.
Sure.
I've mentioned this before. The first set I ever wrote.
Oh.
That I never did.
Now that you never did it?
No,
Why not?
I wrote this. I was living at my parents' house. So this was 2015 or 16.
Whoa.
I wrote this. There was no Blue Ridge. There was nowhere no real open mic place. But I was like, I'm gonna be a comedian. This is the set that you made fun of me because I told some of the jokes to my parents. I told you on the podcast that I told my jokes to my parents.
Oh, okay.
This is the set.
Are you gonna read it? Can you read it?
What's up, guys? I'm Michael, and this is literally the first time I've ever been on a stage. That's the first joke, I guess.
When were we?
It's kind of funny, actually. The other day, I was telling my mom I was going to try an open mic, and the first thing she says to me is, "What are you going to do when no one laughs?" Well, shit, Mom, as if I wasn't already nervous enough.
Honestly, a fair question.
I think that's what I expected to happen after that punchline.
Sure.
There's another page. Don't worry. This is a real 5-minute setter.
How long? Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I think this is it.
She
was obviously kidding, but this led me down this deep string of thoughts. What will I do if no one laughs? So good news. I figured out what I would do. I'm going to play a little game where I find out how many shots of Jack it'll take to get my stomach pumped. That's it. It's the whole set I wrote. I was not a funny guy.
I think that would crush at the Wallace. I'll be honest. I think.
I really do think that's it. Yeah,
that crowd would relate to that kind of humor. I think.
Oh, I don't even know what this is. This is just some fucking scribbles a couple pages later. I have no
coordinates.
I don't know what this is.
That's longitude and latitude. Well, I appreciate you sharing that awful mistake that you wrote down with us. That's really something. And I'm very glad that you never said that until right now.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had.
That's good. I'd like to challenge you to go up at the first Blue Ridge open mic when you come back.
I'm going to take the notebook too.
Hey, guys, this is literally my
first time ever on stage. Yeah.
Honestly, I think it would crush.
Well, it would crush because of the irony of it now. But yeah,
I think you should just pretend like you've never done stand-up because there's a new club. Be like, where is this place? Who are you?
imagine that first time you saw me at Blue Ridge or whatever, and I got up. That was the whole set I prepared, and that's what I did.
We've seen worse, I think.
Would we have a podcast?
No.
I don't think.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
I don't think I wouldn't be doing comedy anymore.
No.
I think I would have got my stomach pumped.
Yeah.
Pumped.
Yeah, you would have definitely played that game for real. That's really special. That's something,
Yep.
man. That's
So.
yeah. I don't use too much of my first set. I use one.
I don't.
joke.
I mean, I don't count
Yeah.
that as like my first you know what I mean? Like
So you're how old when you wrote that?
I was in college.
Probably 20.
I was at the old. I mean, I was 20 maybe. I may have been 21 because I had the joke about whiskey.
That's what I was gonna try
I
to
may
trap
have
you
been,
in.
but like
Yeah.
I 20,
I was hoping
21.
he'd say 19. I was gonna call the cops. Right?
Nah, like I moved. No, dude, I was not 21 because I dropped out at 21 and moved out at 21. So I was 20.
He's a
Yeah.
big achiever. This guy.
Yeah, fun times. Anyway,
See, that just shows you, kids. You can drop out of college. You'll have a very mediocre podcast that makes it for 1 year.
this is the last episode. I don't know. If
Yeah,
we've
this is
mentioned that
actually
yet.
our farewell.
Yeah, I'm trying to find like my actual notes, my joke notes on my phone because
I
that's
think
actually
you've done enough damage. I think that's good.
actually something.
I think that's good. That's crazy, man.
This actually is This is actually a joke I've done before that is funny, but this one's not. I just have a note. I'm just gonna kind of read you some of my. If you guys want to,
I don't know that they do.
method behind the
I don't
madness.
know that they do.
This is all this note says. There's two notes in this. The first one I've done and is funny.
Okay.
The second one says realistic baby dolls are creepy as fuck. That's the whole note.
That's more of just an opinion. I don't
think-
know that that's a joke.
I mean, it's true.
Oh, it's absolutely true. Funny you should say that. I learned the hard way that my girlfriend's grandma, who is unfortunately passed away during COVID, was a big collector and like a organizer of doll conventions on the East Coast, and has like a staggering amount of those in
That's
her
creepy.
home. And yeah, like we were traveling. I think we were in Nashville at the Opryland, like the giant fucking place. And Haley was like, yeah, my grandma used to come here and throw like doll conventions. And I was like, this place is huge. And she was like, yeah, she was like a big part of it. But that's creep. Like a house full of those little glass
I would.
dolls is so scary.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have another note that says just jokes to work on. And the
And it's
bottom
just
of
all
it,
your jokes.
the bottom of it pretty much is. There's a couple I'm not told.
It
I don't
just
know
says
what
everything.
this. I think. Oh my god! I think this was. I think this was an open mic where I went right after Greg, and like we were all kind of roasting each other, and
Yeah.
I just put Greg looks like he'd be the leader of a weird sex cult. That's it.
Yeah, that one's a little too on the nose, I think. That was just, that's just, again, you're just making
I
points.
love
That's
you,
not,
Greg. Here's the Attack of the Killer Donut joke. That was a funny joke that
Oh,
y'all still
Jesus.
still don't like.
I don't like this segment. I don't enjoy this at all. Let's go through all the jokes that didn't pan out.
Yeah.
That's-
At
Yeah.
some point, there's possible jokes that just says small penis. I don't.
Again, you're just stating the facts here.
All
You're
right.
not-
So, Nathaniel, you brought a fun segment. That's funnier than
Yeah.
my manic reading of my old jokes that never worked. So.
I think so. We'll see. Yeah. So for this segment, this is sort of a surprise to Mr. Rose here. For all of our former guests, I sent out a mass email, or a copy and pasted email and text to everybody, just saying, "Hey, our 1 year's coming up. This is about a month ago. You got about a month. I know how comics work. They procrastinate. So I was like, you got like a month, send them in." And I sent out probably 35, 36 text messages. We got back about 4
Hell yeah.
in the month. And then I sent out an emergency one a couple days ago, and we got a few more. So what I have asked, I want to specify very clearly. All I said was the 1 year is coming up. If you could record maybe just like, 30 seconds to a minute or two of congratulating Michael and I on the podcast, or just totally obliterating Michael and I for how terrible you think our podcast is. All of these are former guests. Again,
Yeah.
everybody's been on the show. What we got is a very eclectic mix of personalities.
I
Some
love
of
it.
them are 20 seconds long. One in particular is several minutes. Some are sincere, some are not, some are both. It's I've briefly watched through all of them, but I'm very excited.
And we
to watch
will,
them.
if you're watching on, if you're listening, if you're just listening, we're going to have the video like on the YouTube video.
So you'll hear the audio.
You'll hear the audio, but if you want to
put a face with a sound, go to the YouTube.
I know the first one's Grampy. Like if you want to see Grampy, like just click off now.
And you do. You do want to see. This is going to be, there's one in particular. There's one that you really, really want to see.
I've only seen the first like second of Grampy's because we were doing audio tests before this started. But like, I'm excited for it.
This is amazing. Yeah. So we've got several clips. We're gonna pause between each one and just kind of take a second for Michael to reflect on what we've just witnessed. We're
gonna make this 7-minute segment last 70 minutes.
That's what we're doing. No, this is very special, and a special thank you to everybody who sent one in. They took the time to record it, either email it to me, DM, whatever, and I got them all together. So thank you to everybody. And are you ready?
I think I am.
Okay,
if you want to turn the laptop to me a little bit,
we're gonna turn it around, and here we go. We're gonna get started.
Cannot get my mic situated.
Hey, it's Grampy here. Hard to believe, 52 episodes. Woo! Nathaniel and Michael, you guys are rocking it. Congratulations from Grampy.
Dude, it feels like...
All right. Okay.
Hold on. Thank you, Grampy, for sending it in. That was very funny.
Thank
I
you,
like
Phil.
that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil. Yep. That felt like we went on Cameo.
Dude, how affordable would that cameo be?
It felt like we went on Cameo. It felt like you went on Cameo.
It felt like a 2-for-1 deal.
It felt like you went on Cameo and you were like, hey, it's me and my twin brother's 52nd birthday. Can you...
That's basically, When my mom turns 52, I'm just going to send her that.
That was very... Thank you, Phil. That was very funny.
No, that was great. That was very concise.
Very in character.
Straight to the point.
Congratulatory.
Full Grampy. That was actually exactly what I was hoping for from Grampy. Yeah. And he was also the first one to respond. Within an hour.
Punctual. I love him.
The best.
He's
the only business professional comedian I know.
Side thing. So just not related to this podcast at all.
All right.
Do you have a camera cover on your laptop?
I don't know, honestly. I inherited this laptop because my girlfriend felt bad for me.
Scared of the government?
I reckon. Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's go. That's all I had.
That's it for Phil. Okay.
No.
All right.
Well, that's all I had.
Yeah.
I think it was very sweet, very, very nice.
It was. Thank you, Phil, for sending that.
It was in character, and I appreciated that.
It was.
Honestly.
All right, moving on.
Next one.
Next up, and I don't honestly know.
Hey guys, Michael Mullen here, congratulating you on your 1-year anniversary of the Talkin Bits podcast. You guys have had an amazing first year, showcasing killer local talent and having hilarious stories along the way. I can't wait to see what you have in store for year 2. It's going to be amazing. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for including me in this journey. Being interviewed on your podcast truly was one of the highlights of my year. I wish you both the best in your success and hope that not only will it continue for the next year, but the next year after, and the next year after, and so forth and so on. So again, thank you and congratulations on your 1-year anniversary. Keep on doing the interviews and we'll keep on laughing. Thanks, guys.
Beautiful.
Oh, I love it. That was very sweet, Michael.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Yeah.
That was a more
Dope
sincere
shirt.
one. So, also, the second person to send it in, but the order of these videos is staggered. I intentionally ordered these to where it's a shock. So, after the Grampy one, I wanted something a little more sincere. Very special.
Very sincere. I love it. No, Michael, thank you for being
Michael.
on. Was that before or after he's on the second time, too?
Because
he was just on again.
I think that was right before he actually came back in.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So that was very
Michael-
special. He also said that being on here was one of the best days of his year, and whew, what a bad life he must be living. That's fucking... If this is the highlight of your year, we
Michael-
gotta get that dude some drugs or something.
I do want to say, actually, I want to backtrack for a second. I've mentioned it before. My first interaction with Phil Ketchrin is at the Rum Bar after the fight when he called me on stage while the fight was still happening. Just want to say that.
Sure.
Love him. But
Cool.
me and Phil became very close over the...
It's cool that you
Past 2
went
years.
backwards. Yeah.
But because I was going to say something about Michael, and I just kind of wanted to do the
all right,
same.
yeah.
But Michael was actually one of my first friends at Blue Ridge
Yeah, me too.
One of the first guys who just came and actually like
Yeah.
talked to me and asked me about it.
Yeah,
And
he's one of the
asked
first
me-
ones that started after me, but was very kind to me. And I've always, I mean, he talks to me a lot about Don't Tell. He's very, curious about the podcast and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a super supportive dude.
He
And
is.
he was just on here too. So, all of these
yeah,
people
it's
have been on the show.
2 episodes ago.
Yeah, just go listen to him just to show support. I mean, if the numbers on that episode go up, then I'm sure that would just make him feel great.
Yeah.
To know that
Episode
people
is doing
wanna
good.
listen
I will say that. Off
good,
of release,
good,
it was
man.
doing
He's a
good.
great dude, and that's the one that we were saying is kind of all over the place. So I think it's hilarious that in this video he's the most composed.
Oh, he's the most calm guy I've ever
he
seen.
kind of felt choked up at
Yeah.
one point. Like he
That
was very
was-
sincere. Yeah.
That was the most calm I've ever seen somebody. Michael
Yeah.
also has like some of the most unique interest, and like he's like super into
Yeah.
music, like super into like old school
Yeah.
music. And
Every
stuff
time,
like
this
that.
is kind of a behind the curtain thing, but every time that we have a guest on, I ask them for a song to plug, and generally the first 3 that Michael sends me aren't on Instagram. The like 2
That's so
indie
funny.
or 2 arts, and then when I finally find one, like this most recent one, I was like, I've never even almost heard this song before.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
I've never even found this song on accident
did
before.
this come
man.
out yesterday? Like
Yeah.
I've never heard it.
He,
T-shirts too. My God,
Oh,
what a
he-
collection.
we talked about it on the most recent episode with him. That shirt
Yeah.
he was wearing that he had made himself.
He's got the best shirts.
I did a show with him and very funny comedian. You were on the show too. From North Carolina, Andy Forrester.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and him and Andy
course.
Forrester for like an hour before the show. The show was happening, right? I get off stage, you're on stage, show is happening. They're still in the green room talking about like old records and
Yeah.
like old audio equipment and just like super into that stuff. It was
super
cool.
smart dude too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was wonderful, Michael. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for sending that in.
Your ribbon joke is one of my favorite jokes of all time.
That's a
Just
very
want you to
sweet.
know that.
I promise he's also very funny. That was a very sweet moment for him, but he's also a very, very talented comedian, and we'll have him back soon.
He has a ribbon joke that is one of the funniest jokes in Bristol, Tennessee.
Yeah.
For
Very
sure.
funny.
So
All right,
let's go.
ready
Next
for
one.
the next one?
Let's do it.
Moving on.
Hey, Talking Bits. I'm sitting in my car after a show, and I just happened to think about you guys, which I don't very often. So I
Meredith
just decided
Kerr
to go ahead and
for
record this
audience.
now. Congratulations, Nathaniel and Michael. Oh, my light just went off. On 52 episodes, and only one of them had me on it. I can't, or maybe 2 of them
We
had
had
me
2.
on it. But I can't believe that you made it 52 episodes with that small dosage of me and my giant vagina. Thank you, sugar. We need that in the future. Congratulations, you guys. I love you both. One of you more than the other.
That's Nathaniel.
Figure out which one. Mwah. Bye.
Yeah, that kiss was for you too.
Yeah, it was. Hell yeah.
That was not for me.
Yeah, what a sweetie.
Thank you, Meredith.
Meredith Kerr. Thank
That
you
was,
so much, Meredith.
Somehow exactly what I expected to get from Meredith, and somehow a lot calmer.
I was in her car with people chatting outside
Yeah.
in the parking lot.
I hope
also,
her window was down whenever she said the vagina thing.
For the listeners, you probably heard her at one point go, "Oh, my light turned off." That's because
The-
I'm assuming
the light
she
in her
got in her
car.
car,
Yeah.
which triggered the automatic light that lasts like 30 seconds, and she just hit record. And then when it goes up, she has to reach up and turn on a light.
That was like, I'm not kidding. When I say that was the most Meredith thing
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my life.
And
Like,
it's big also, I can testify. Yeah, it's big.
is it?
Yeah,
Cool,
it's
cool,
big.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
so big. All right.
That's why she loves you more. No.
It is
Meredith-
me that she's talking about. Yeah.
Meredith's another one. Like my first time I've mentioned this on the show. My first time I ever seen Meredith was like way before I even started stand up,
Yeah.
and just her on a show, and she murdered. She was the technical feature. I don't think there really was a feature that night,
Right.
if that makes sense. But like technically
Sure.
was the feature. And then just bartending. She's super cool.
Mhm.
She's
Yeah.
always been there.
Multi-talented.
She's helped me work out a lot of jokes.
Yeah,
She's,
she honestly, this is the thing I always tell people about Meredith, because she has some notoriety in town. Like actually at work the other day, somebody asked me if I knew her, and I just said Meredith has this weird ability to convince me to do shit. Like every time she calls me, I'm like, what? Or texts me, I'm like, what is it now? She not that long ago swindled me into hosting an adult tricycle derby. Has
that happened yet?
Yeah.
Why has that not been mentioned one time on this show?
I'm not really sure. I'm not sure that
I had
it
no
feels
idea
like a
this
fever
happened.
dream.
Why?
She called or texted me, whatever, and said, there's a person who is sponsoring this adult tricycle race for charity, and different like real estate companies and different agencies and shit. Sign
Why
up.
did I not even there's 2 reasons why I should have heard about
This is
this,
in
and I
Bristol.
still haven't
This is
heard
in
about it.
Bristol. This is a couple months back, and they want 2 comedians to commentate. So will you come with me? And so I went, and Jared wound up being there too. So we had like a wireless speaker, just a terrible setup. It was raining, and they did like 3 laps around this median in a hotel parking lot in Bristol, and we just talked into a wireless speaker and just basically made fun of the people who were sliding in the rain on tricycles.
Did anyone fall?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
good.
There was some madness going on.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
No, Meredith though is the best.
And
Meredith
there's nobody else I would have done that for except Meredith.
Meredith also, and Meredith was very excited when my daughter was born. Was very excited when she met her, and
Sure was.
She's a good people person.
She's wonderful. She's
Yeah.
she's a sweetheart. But also, fuck her.
Also, I'm gonna say I love you, Meredith, and just remember that you told Nathaniel you loved him more. Whatever.
That's right. She has now confirmed it in video form that will live forever.
Yeah.
On a server that will outlast humanity. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
All right.
Next up.
Let's go.
I have no idea, but we'll see. Next up.
Oh Jesus, Joe, your audio. Joe Bridges, everybody. Is he at his kid's school? He looks like he's in a cafeteria at his kid's school. What is that? Where is he? So for the listeners at home,
Hold on.
I almost forgot to record this.
Jesus, Joe. For the listeners at home, it was just however long that was with whatever was happening in the background.
It was exactly 1 minute
Was
because
it
my
1 minute?
request was if you could send about a minute. And so he sat in silence for 59
not
seconds.
silence.
And
Not silence. It sounded like he was at sounded like he was in like a school cafeteria where they're
they
like
were
I
playing
remember
I Like to Move It, the
Well-
Madagascar song in the distance.
when I was in elementary school, we had a stage in our cafeteria.
Yeah.
And every so often, they would just
Sure.
do like random shit during
Sure,
lunch, and
sure.
that's kind of what it sounded
Yeah,
like.
like
on
he's
the
at his
stage.
daughter's recital.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. Thank you, Joe. That was very sincere. That was very heartfelt video.
I expected nothing else.
exactly.
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I expected nothing else. Maybe a chicken, but nothing else.
Again, that's true. Or his grandpa.
Or his grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah. So my request was, please send about a minute of a video, and so he hit the requirements.
it.
Shout out to Joe.
Joe.
He's also
He does it.
listening with great anticipation right now. He's been waiting for this for weeks
30
when
minutes,
this comes out.
He was
Yeah.
had to make
He
30.
skipped ahead, probably.
That was very fun. That was just like, and for the people who are Spotify only or listening,
Yeah.
just audio only.
You got to check the
The
video.
first 57 seconds of that video is just Joe looking at the camera, just taking a selfie.
in the poorest quality. He recorded it on an iPhone 3.
Yeah.
In a busy
he
cafeteria.
definitely he whipped out his like second flip
Yeah.
phone he ever had.
Yeah.
Not his first one. It didn't have that good of a
It was the
camera.
Nokia,
Second.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
It was bad.
He probably had to take that off an SD card onto his computer. You know what I mean? He couldn't just send it
Yeah.
off his phone.
Remember earlier
Anyway.
when I said this show is a reflection of our guests?
What was that? Joe, we need to have Joe. Joe, you tell us when you want to be back on.
Absolutely.
You're
Joe,
welcome.
Open
literally
invitation. You
anytime.
come back soon, and we're gonna harass you about.
You
what
can even be on
submitted.
another, like you can do with the Sean. You can do the Sean Carter and just be on like
Sure.
with other guests.
Anytime. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
replace Michael if you want. I
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
You know, people have been trying to get me off the podcast for a year.
That's
Come on.
That's true. All right.
All right.
That's thank you, Joe.
Yeah, thank
so
you,
much
Joe,
for
and
that
thank you. The
submission.
episode that you were on, I've mentioned it before. I was like getting over the flu when
a
you
good
were
one.
on, so I was not at my best, and so I apologize.
Oh,
if-
he'll be on soon. We'll
Yeah.
remedy that.
yeah. So
He's coming back. All right.
Yes.
Moving on. We
Let's
got
do
a
it.
Couple more coming up next.
Sean Carter's my guess.
No idea. Oh, yeah. We'll start guessing. You think Sean Carter? Okay.
I don't know who
You
sent
think
them
he
in.
actually cares about us
No,
enough
Sean
to
didn't
submit
send one in. Hold on. How many more do we have?
You're correct.
We've done 4,
I think so. Yeah.
and we have 7 total.
We got 3 or 4 more probably. Yeah.
Travis is next.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Greg. I was wrong.
Talking Bits, boys. It's me, Greg Payne. Just wanted to congratulate you guys on 52 episodes. That's a milestone. You know, I was on episode 10, I believe, so it's been a while. You've had a lot of funny guests on. It's been great. It's a great show. I really like that whole the sexual tension vibe between you guys. That's what I really like, you know.
Greg is.
Drinking a beer.
Don't drink to that. There's nothing wrong with being gay, even if you're going to cheat on Michael, cheat on your wife, Nathaniel, cheat on your girlfriend that I thought didn't exist. And y'all can just let bumpy peckers against each other do whatever gay stuff. It's okay to be gay. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, like, I'd love to come back. I had fun doing the show and just drinking a little bit.
What's he doing?
Congratulations on 52 episodes, Talkin' Bits, boys. And now, for fun, I'm going to open an umbrella. And I have hit myself in the face a little bit, and that's okay because this is for Nathaniel and Michael.
I love you, Greg.
I've got to turn this camera off now, so I have to move a little bit.
Greg Payne, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
love it, dude. I love it.
I do
man.
not, just for the record, in case someone listening or watching right now thinks they're missing an inside joke, if you,
You are not.
so am I, because that umbrella has no reference to us at all.
I have no idea what's going
Here's
on with that.
my-
I think it was a dream that he had that he was like, Michael made a joke about an umbrella on stage one time, and he's like, I'm going to take an umbrella.
This is my theory. My theory is, because he was one of the ones that I sent out the last minute request, my theory is he just hit record and was like, I got to do something.
He had to move his umbrella off of the dresser
like-
where he put his phone.
He's like, I need a prop. I need something.
Yeah.
And so he just smacks himself in the face with an
He was sitting there like he set his phone up to do the recording, but he had to move his umbrella to do it. So he just was holding it. And he's like, I can't just hold an umbrella and not showcase it. You
that
know,
umbrella knocked the shit out.
it really did. I'm glad he was drinking. He probably didn't feel it as bad.
Also, it was like 10 a.m. when he recorded.
Was that really? Greg was off, man. He was
It was
having
in
it.
the morning. and
He was
he's
either
just
off that
drinking
day or he was getting
glass
ready for work. You know what I
bottles.
mean? Gosh.
Jesus Christ.
I
Oh,
love
we
him.
love him so much.
Greg, another open invitation.
Yes,
for
absolutely.
You. Like,
we love him so much.
I can't believe it's been 42 episodes since Greg.
I know.
It's been like 30 since Joe, too.
Yeah.
Greg's another one. Like, I meant to say Joe. I didn't meet Joe for a while until I was in comedy for a little bit before actually meeting Joe.
Yeah.
And Joe was another one that just immediately was like nice to me, and we're like,
Oh, that
friends.
must be nice.
And
Joe's a
he-
fucking asshole to me.
Joe and I Joe and I did a show recently, and he gave me maybe my favorite tag in my entire set.
Yeah, he'll do that.
Like just off the cuff,
He'll do that.
on a joke that honestly I don't even play with anymore. It's just done.
Yeah.
He gave me my favorite tag in my entire set.
He's so funny.
Um,
He's so funny. And Greg, too. I mean, thank you
And then,
both.
yeah.
Thank you, Greg, so much for sending that in. I hope your face is healing up from the laceration
Yeah.
of that
we're
umbrella.
gonna see Greg at the open mic with a fucking black
Scar.
eye. Yeah. Gee.
Yeah,
he
thanks, Greg.
Knocked the hell out of himself.
I appreciate that.
But Greg's always been great. Greg,
He's both my girlfriend and your wife's favorite comedian.
yeah,
Also.
Kayla tells me all the time, like
Yeah.
how much
He's
she
like
loves-
if a train wreck was a person.
yeah.
You just got to watch it.
Greg is like I'll tell you what I love about Greg. And Greg, you experienced this firsthand, and I'm not talking ill of you, but you either fucking murder,
Yep.
like
Yep.
best set of the night,
Mm-hmm.
or you have the worst set of the night.
Both
And
are fun. For
There
us.
is nothing in between when Greg is on stage.
Both are very fun. For
Like-
us. Yeah.
Gonna kill everyone's in stitches, or like,
I'll say this for
what
sure.
is this guy doing?
There's nobody I'd rather watch bomb.
Oh, he's the best to watch bomb because he doesn't
I'd almost
care.
rather watch him bomb.
Yeah, watching Greg bomb is my favorite. Is the
Yeah.
funniest thing in Bristol.
Yeah, it's the best.
You know,
Yeah.
like I would. You know, you never.
I'd
want-
rather watch him bomb than most comics kill. I really would.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna have more fun watching him bomb.
the best.
Than you having the best set of your life.
Yeah.
Life. Yeah.
So good.
Greg, we love you. Greg.
Thanks,
Greg.
Appreciate you.
We should
Greg.
record that. That should be
Yeah.
that button.
a button. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
So-
right. Next up.
All right. So
Any
we have 3
guesses?
left.
Two, maybe just 2 left.
Is it guys or
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
couldn't tell you because you don't know their
Any
pronouns?
guesses? Yeah, I don't want to misgender them.
Guesses?
guesses?
I'm trying to think of guests we've had. I bet Rain and Cassidy aren't sending any.
You'd be correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There's only
Uh,
like 8 out of
so then
35.
then it's a male guest.
Yeah. There's a couple I didn't reach out to.
Justin
too.
Mays is my guess.
Okay. That's your guess. Next
Brandy
up.
Augustus could be on here also.
Next up.
Actually.
Hey,
Chasey
this is
B.
comedian Chasey B here, and I just want to give a special shout out to Mr. Michael Rose and Mr. Nathaniel Boer on year 1 of the
win.
Talkin' Bits podcast.
Dude, is he in a
I was
field?
happy to be a part of it in episode 33. So glad you guys invited me on. And I know that big things are in store for you guys. So I'm looking forward to year 2 and the future of the Talking Bits podcast. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Chasey B. Was he in a field? I was waiting on a horse to like go behind
My
him.
theory for this one is that when I text
He's in a watermelon patch. Oh, love
if you
Chasey
don't
B.
know why that's
I love
funny,
you,
you're
buddy.
really missing.
I love you, buddy.
Oh, Chase has an infamous joke
Oh.
about watermelon and his sexual misconduct
His sexual fantasies
with the fruit.
yes.
Yeah, and another great guest. Go listen to his episode.
And that was a fun episode.
A great clip from it. Also,
Had one of the craziest stories.
several. Yeah,
about the people he met after that show.
Oh God, I try not to think about it. No, that was wonderful. Thank
there
you,
was
Chase.
ever an episode where we were going to get canceled. It
yeah.
may have been Chasey B's
We'd like to
episode.
apologize to our audio only listeners for the northern gust of wind
Yeah.
that was.
I really like. I swear to God, like I was waiting on like a horse or something to just run.
Well,
like
two
by.
things. So first of all, he lives in a very rural part of the world. He lives in
does.
Marion, Virginia. So that was the whole city there. behind him.
Yeah.
That fence post you saw is town hall.
That's where they gather.
Yeah.
That's where the clan
That's,
gets together.
that's where he. Whoa. That's where
No.
he was.
Sorry, bad joke.
Yeah.
Clan with the C. It's his World of Warcraft clan.
Right.
Yep.
That's where he was. My theory is another last minute submission from my emergency text. My theory is that he was driving down a country
And he
road.
just pulled over?
And he just pulled
Oh, I
over.
hope he did that in just someone's fucking
Because
yard.
he texted me and was like, I'll send it in a second. So I have a feeling he just put it in park and was like, this
Dude.
field looks nice.
I hope he was just in someone's yard. They were
Yeah.
just sitting on their porch and was like, "What's this guy
Yeah.
doing?" You know?
No, that was beautiful. That was, again, very concise,
Yeah.
very straight to the point, very sincere, funny. Chase, you're the man.
Yeah,
We fucking
that was
love Chase B.
episode 33, and I'm glad they're all mentioning like what number they were on because like I have
don't-
no idea what number anyone.
Honestly, it kind of made me happy a little bit when he said 33 because I know he remembers that number. Like
Yeah.
he knows what episode he was on. That makes it feel special.
I felt like I loved Chasey B's episode. I felt like that just happened like 2 months ago.
I know,
but
I
like
know.
I guess that happened like 4 months ago.
It's crazy.
You know?
It really is crazy.
But that was a very, very fun episode. That was one of the episodes after like after we finished, we're like, whew, gonna have to clean this one up
Yeah,
a
it's a
little
wild
bit.
one.
You know,
It's a wild
it
one.
was a fun one. But
He'll
Chasey
be back
B,
soon too.
my first time ever meeting Chasey B was at an open mic. He came in a little late, signed up last. This is whenever I actually was able to stay for like entireties of mics. But I was very early on, and he was doing a dark comedy showcase at the Wallace that weekend. And I talked to him a bit. I got off stage, like we had a good conversation. He was like, it was very nice. And then he gets on stage and was like, "I'm gonna try some dark jokes. Just letting y'all know."
Yep.
5 minutes of eating
Yep.
shit.
I remember that exact show because
And-
I taped that special at the Wallace, and pretty similar reaction there too. And
He
stuck to
had a joke about a
it,
dog
hitting a dog with his car.
Yeah,
I'll never forget it.
yeah, and
Yep.
I've never heard him say it again.
I sat behind
his
two
credit.
cameras at the Wallace and watched him do that.
Yeah, I've never heard him say that joke again. To his
Yeah.
credit, but like, and I think Chasey B is one of the funny, like one of the funniest local comedians there is, and he just got into that comedy festival in Colorado.
Sure did.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dan Bublitz Jr.
Yeah,
Yep.
but that was like my first interaction with Chasey B, and I'm like, ooh,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that's tough.
He's a wild fella.
Yeah,
No, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I've done a lot of shows with Chase too in North
Yeah.
Carolina and
We-
locally.
that show I was just mentioning I did with Joe, where he gave me that really good tag. Chasey
Mm-hmm.
B was on that show, and I mean, he was
He's amazing.
He was maybe the highlight of the show. Like
Yeah.
he
He
they
is like
really,
a mythical character.
They reacted
Really,
to
he
his
is.
energy. He's another one where
I would
like,
argue that Chasey B is more of a character comic than Grampy. That's my argument. I
Yeah.
think- but he's himself.
he does have my second favorite opener.
He is the character.
He has my second favorite opener. Jared
Candy.
Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jared Oklahoma is my favorite opener of all
Sure,
time. I
sure,
think
sure.
that's just locally, internationally agreed the
Yeah.
best opener of all time.
Yeah.
But the Candy opener is
close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Well, there's Chasey. I believe we just have one
Justin Mays.
more, I think. You think it's Justin?
I think it's
Okay,
Justin
all right.
Mays.
I think it's one more, maybe two. We'll see.
Hi, Talking Bits podcast.
Or Peyton Williams.
It's been 1 year. Yay! I'm so happy for you. To many more.
And that's it.
And that was it.
That's it. That's the end. That's all.
That was it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Justin Mason didn't send one.
Nope.
No,
Sure
but
didn't.
Peyton, yes,
He
thank
doesn't
you.
care about us at all.
Apparently
That's
not.
what it is.
I told him
No,
happy
I'm just
birthday
kidding.
on the podcast
No,
and I
he's
messaged him.
Justin's been busy as hell, so he actually texted me last night and apologized that he didn't have the time and all this stuff. But that's just fine.
We should FaceTime him right now.
Well, I do want to say,
Just kidding.
among the videos that we did not get, there were many, many, many that responded with either, just like a heart emoji or like, I got you. And I'm sure a lot of them planned on sending things in. Shit happens. So while we joke that nobody sent it in, we appreciate everyone who's been on the show, even if you didn't respond or send one in. We don't appreciate the 2 that I did not reach out to. But no, I'm just kidding. We appreciate
there's one
even
you didn't reach out to for sure.
There's 3. But yeah, so thanks for
Justin Mays being one of them.
Thanks for everything, everybody.
No, and Peyton, real quick on Peyton, he was just on.
Sure was.
He was just on
last week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Peyton, I mean, he's I wish I would have started comedy when I was Peyton's age.
God, me too.
Without any responsibilities to speak of.
Well, he's been on the show twice now, and I think the first time we made the joke, which is so funny to me, that like at open mics, you mentioned you had to leave because of Olivia. A lot of people are hanging out, and Peyton was always like, I've got algebra 2 at 8 a.m. I got to go to high school. That's so crazy.
That is funny. And we talked about Blake Wexler earlier, and we'll also talk about Matt Rife for a second, that comedian that I'm funnier than. But they both started when they were in high school.
That's true.
They both, like Blake said, I think he started when he was like 15. I think Matt Rife was like 16, 17. Matt Rife may have been 18, but he was.
Yeah, I think Chappelle was like 14 too.
Yeah.
It happens.
And like, that's awesome.
Seth Rogen's another one too.
Did he really?
13, I think. Yeah.
True.
In Canada.
Could you imagine Seth Rogen at 13?
His first set's not bad. You can see it on YouTube.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What was he joke about?
His parents are in the audience.
8th grade?
It's about what you'd imagine. Actually, it's pretty. Yeah.
8th grade?
Yeah.
Dude, my brother-in-law is 13. I couldn't imagine that kid doing stand-up comedy. That's crazy.
Bring him out.
Like, that's so funny. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm not saying he couldn't in the future, but like as as he is now. But anyway, and
thank you, Peyton.
Yeah, thank you, Peyton. You've been. I'm gonna sound like a dad, but it's been really cool watching him like grow.
I know he's
comedy.
getting so tall.
Yeah. He's getting so big. It's just, we love you, buddy.
No, he's great. He actually, I saw him at the open mic at Blue Ridge, kind of like a last-minute impromptu open mic they did there last week, and we were just kind of hanging out in the green room. And he's one of my favorite comics to have just around because I feel like he and I can just sit in the green room and just chill, and he's not hounding me. He's not, he doesn't need the comment. He's just a good dude to talk to and to be around. And I appreciate that. And he's, like you mentioned, he's young and he's already figuring these things out. I think in time he's going to really do something.
I think really cool thing about Peyton is like, I remember I saw his first ever time at Blue Ridge, and like, dude was not comfortable public speaking.
No.
But he did it.
Yeah.
And he kept coming. And he kept coming. And I think it is so fucking hilarious, that story he told where he did his set for a speach in his high school, and that is the fool.
Yeah, that's last week's episode.
I couldn't imagine, dude. Yeah.
Funny kid. He's moving to Knoxville soon too. So if you're listening to this and you live in Knoxville, check him out. He's going to be at open mics and shows all around town.
Probably
so
will be.
If college doesn't get the best of him,
and he'll be in probs and stats and whatever other freshman classes you take.
Yep.
English lit.
Anyways, that's all the submissions that I have.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody that sent one in.
Yeah, seriously, thank you. None of you had to do that. None of you had to do that.
That's right.
And that was very thoughtful.
It was.
Of you all, and thank you.
And thank you to the probably 5, 6, 7 others that intended to send one or reached out and congratulated us. Corey Day's another one. Corey, said congrats and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So shout out to Corey.
I want to apologize to Corey Day. He
on air. You got to do it right now.
If he's even listening,
he's not.
But he reached out to me on Instagram 2-3 months ago,
and you blew him off,
asking me to be on a show. But I never check my Instagram messenger.
That kind of hurts because he just asked me this week.
I never checked my Instagram messenger 2-3 months ago. It was one of those shows he does where it's like the storytelling thing that's happening about being a parent. And I would have loved to be on that show.
That explains why I didn't reach out to
him. Yeah. So, but I didn't see the message for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I saw it like the day before the show. And
what
an
asshole!
Yeah, man, I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna go do it soon too. No, he's living in Charlotte now, I believe. That's right.
I think so.
Charlotte, Charlotte, but he's still running stuff in Nashville, running shows occasionally, and so check out Corey also. Corey Dick.
I have something also. I'm going to be going to Austin 2 times in the next couple months.
Oh, cool.
So if anybody in Austin wants a East Tennessee comic,
well, they're not listening and they
grace
don't, but
your
that's
stage.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, I would love a feature spot at your club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Sure.
do it. You don't have to pay me. I just do it for the you got to pay me if I'm doing that for that many people. No, you don't have to pay me. I just want the credit.
Wow.
I just want the credit.
It's amazing how your brain is actually working out your pay rate for the mothership as if they give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take $100 a minute.
Yeah. He's not going to reach out. And neither is Tyler Gallant. He's probably going to block you when you land. So
No,
just
no.
get ready for that. No. So that's our 52.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of a shorter episode, but like, yeah, that's what we had prepped.
Yep.
But no, seriously, from the bottom of my heart and from, Nathaniel's heart, his cold, cold heart, thank you,
Hank Williams.
everyone who has listened, who has liked, who has told a friend, subscribed,
Absolutely.
commented. I mean, just interacting with the podcast.
Yep. And keep doing that. Keep
Yeah.
sharing. We'll,
Just interacting anyway does help algorithms and retention and blah, blah, blah. And I was looking at her comments on Spotify the other day, and thank you to the random person who commented on one of the episodes, and all their comment said was fart.
Sounds like Joe.
It was not Joe. One Joe.
Joe's
Just said
burner
fart.
account, probably.
Yeah, so thank you to that
Yeah.
person. I know that you were being insulting, but it made me laugh. So no, I'm just kidding.
Very
But
funny. So that's 52. If you're just listening for the first time and this is 52, you'll probably tune back in on 104. So we'll see you then. Just every year.
Are you going to get
Check
3
in.
balloons for 104, like 104?
I guess so. Balloons are expensive though. We're gonna have to start
Yeah.
splitting this.
I didn't even know
This
you were
is
doing it.
crazy.
I would have. I offered to get you coffee.
It actually kind of shocked me that balloons.
How
are
much were they? I mean, this
like
is
$11 or something.
Fuck off! I thought I was gonna be like $30.
But who would? It's a balloon. Like why?
$11 each or $11 total? Oh, yeah,
Each.
that is kind of expensive.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah,
I thought it was $11 for all 3, and I was like,
No.
that's not bad.
No, well, that one was cheaper.
That was
'cause it's
probably
generic.
like
3 or 4. Yeah.
Spent $22 on 22
I know.
back here.
Yeah, $1 per number. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
it is so funny to me how similar the 5 and the 2 are.
No, the best part of the balloons is baby OJ gets
Oh
to play
my
with them
gosh.
for multiple days.
What's very
afterwards.
funny is her birthday was 3 months ago, and we had balloons for her,
Yeah.
and she couldn't give a shit less about the
Really?
balloons.
She loves them today.
But she saw that purple balloon, and she
That's the one.
was on cloud 9.
Yep. It's
So-
amazing. Cloud 9. I haven't done that joke in a while.
That's
Holy
a good
shit.
joke. That's a good joke.
I just remembered I had a joke.
You
about
bring that joke back, I'll bring the donut joke back.
Deal.
All right.
All right.
We'll see who does better. Anyway,
I'll take a guess.
thank you. Thank you guys.
Mhm.
I'm Michael Rose Comedy on Instagram and Threads, Talking Bits Pod on Instagram, our YouTube, Spotify, everything. Just check us out wherever, like, subscribe, do the nice stuff.
Yeah. Clips also.
Yeah.
We're on Reels now a little bit on Instagram, posting some clips. We also I post some clips of the show on my personal TikTok as well.
Yep.
So that's in Booer Comedy on TikTok, and there's some stand up clips, some show stuff, older stuff, some don't tell promotional stuff, all kinds of good stuff.
Whenever I don't say anything horribly offensive about my family, I sometimes post to my personal Facebook too. But
that's rare.
Yep.
So check us out on there. Also, quick thank you to Cody Hughes, Ryan Gordon, Helen Jenny, and Brian Morton. That was our killer lineup for last night's Don't Tell show. Cody Hughes is truly on another level. I have not seen him perform in about a year. I watched him. He did a 20-minute set as a headliner and then, of course, a late show, and basically did 40 minutes, like a unique 20 on both, and murdered.
That's awesome.
Just the strongest 40 ever. So strong, so funny, and so uniquely Cody. There is no other Cody Hughes, and thank God, quite frankly. There's just Cody. No, and of course, Ryan Gordon, one of my all-time favorites. Helen was great. Brian was great. It was great.
Also, sorry we did on last week's episode say that Ryan Gordon's episode was next week.
It is not.
Had some scheduling issues on that one.
We lied,
sorry
but he'll
about
be in
that.
here soon.
Yeah, he will be here soon, but we had scheduling issues, so that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So sorry about that.
That's all right. Well, we got some exciting guests coming up soon.
We sure do. KM.
Here's to another year.
KM, Joe Bridges, Greg Payne, all the bunch
They're
of
all coming.
returns. Yep.
That's right.
Well, hey, we love you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.